Nia Thompson had always dreamed of flying. At 16, she had never been on a plane, let alone in first class. When she won a national essay contest on civil rights, the award included a trip to Washington, D.C., and a surprise upgrade to first class. Dressed in a soft gray hoodie and jeans, Nia wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was just excited, her eyes glued to the clouds as the plane climbed higher. The cabin was quiet, refined. Leather seats, silver service, polite whispers. It all felt like another world. She didn't notice the glances at first, subtle, fleeting. A furrowed brow from a passenger across the aisle. A tight-lipped smile from the flight attendant. She brushed it off, thinking maybe she was just imagining things. But as the plane settled into cruising altitude, so did a chilling shift in the air, something quiet, heavy, and unmistakably wrong. Midway through the flight attendant returned. This time, her tone was colder. "Miss, are you sure you're in the right seat?" she asked, scanning Nia up and down as if her presence was an error. Nia, confused but polite, handed over her boarding pass. The attendant barely glanced at it before walking away. Minutes later, she returned, with a supervisor. Now passengers were turning their heads. Murmurs spread. Nia's cheeks flushed. The supervisor cleared his throat and said the seat may have been incorrectly assigned and that they needed to verify her eligibility. Eligibility? Nia tried to speak, but the words caught in her throat. The man asked her to follow him, quietly, to the back. She was escorted through rows of curious eyes, whispers trailing behind her. Her heart pounded with confusion and shame. In economy, she was told to sit and wait while they looked into it. No explanation, no apology. She sat staring at the seat back in front of her. The same airline that had honored her success now treated her like an intruder in a space she had earned. A flight attendant offered her a drink without making eye contact. Tears welled in Nia's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. One passenger recorded it all silently, unnoticed. The video would soon change everything. As the plane landed and passengers began to disembark, a man in a tailored suit waited at the gate. He wasn't airport staff. He was the owner of the airline. The viral video had already reached his desk before the flight even touched down. Without hesitation, he approached Nia, still seated, eyes red but chin high. He apologized, publicly, in front of the crew and passengers. Then he turned to his staff, his voice calm but cutting. "This is not who we are. This ends today." The crew responsible were escorted away silently. Nia was offered a formal apology, an invitation to speak at the airline's upcoming Equity Summit, and a full scholarship from a partner foundation. But more than that, she got her dignity back, loud and clear. Nia stood taller than ever, not just as a passenger, but as a symbol. The video sparked national outrage, igniting conversations across media outlets and schools about implicit bias and racial profiling. People from around the world messaged her, thanking her for her courage, for representing them in a moment they knew too well. She hadn't screamed, she hadn't cursed, she had simply existed in a space she had earned, and that was enough to provoke prejudice. The airline implemented sweeping changes, including anti-bias training, and Nia's story was shared in classrooms and conferences as a reminder of the work still left to do. Nia didn't just survive humiliation at 35,000 feet. She rose above it. Because sometimes quiet strength can roar louder than injustice. At 35,000 feet, she was humiliated, escorted out of first class without warning, questioned for simply sitting in her assigned seat. A teenager in a hoodie celebrating a once-in-a-lifetime achievement suddenly made to feel like she didn't belong. But what the flight crew didn't know was that someone had captured it all. And when the airline owner himself met her at the gate, everything changed. This is the story of she was humiliated at 35,000 feet until the airline owner stepped in. Comment the name of your city if you're watching this.